Today I'm going to go over to the camper and take off the cabinet doors and start working on painting. I'm really excited. I can't wait to get started. This paint goes on really thick. It is a really thick paint. This one is still wet, but this up here is dry, and the grain has, kind of popped out on the wood, which is fine, but the finish is very smooth. It's chalky. You don't really see the brush marks in the paint itself. You can see the grain in the wood, but you don't really see the brush marks. So this will need another coat, and then I think it'll be ready for the wax or the poly finish. The polyacrylic finish is not supposed to yellow, so I think that's what I'm going to use on some of it, or maybe the wax, I'm not sure. Hey guys, it's day 2 of the painting project for my kitchen. We are in North Carolina and it is super warm today. It's, well, mid-80s, but the humidity is what kills us here. It's really humid, so it looks like it's also going to thunderstorm today, maybe a little bit later, and I'm going to go and try and get the second coat of the cream on the top cabinet doors on my in-laws' back porch so that they can hopefully dry, and then we can bring them back inside tonight after they've had a chance to really dry well. The girls did the first coat yesterday, and it looks like they did a pretty good job. There's a couple of spots here and there that are a little thinner than I'd like, but it's okay, no big deal. That's why I let them do the first coat. I'm going to do the second coat. I remember when I was a kid, my parents would do the same thing. They would let me do the first coat and then they'd come back and do the second coat, and of course, touch up everything and make it look nice. This one looks like it's got a couple of coats on it already. Maybe they did a second coat on a few of these. But I'm going to go ahead and finish them up, make sure that they're nice and well coated. You can see that with one coat there are still a couple of places where the wood shows through, and that's typical. It's soaked into the wood grain really well. I'm sitting out here painting in this humidity in North Carolina, and like I said before, it looks like it's gonna storm. I've been painting for maybe 15 minutes and I just heard thunder. I'm in the kitchen painting, and I realized that I forgot some of the latches, so I'm going to have to take those off real quick. But I also wanted to show you that I'm painting in this little tiny kitchen area, and if you take a look right down here, there's this teeny tiny little piece down here right up against carpet. Ugh, yuck, what a pain. I don't know what they were thinking, putting carpet right next to that. So I'm just taping it as well as I could. I kind of shoved the tape down in there, and I'm hoping that it'll stay off the carpet. You might be wondering why I'm painting the inside of some of the cabinets. Like, I'm painting inside here, and I'm not painting inside here. The reason is this is going to be covered by a door, and I really feel like when you open the cabinet door, you're going to want a nice clean edge on the inside, and I don't want to have that yellowy wood look right here on the edge. But when you're opening something over here, this is a drawer, and when you're opening the drawer, you're not going to see this part of the inside of the drawer. So I feel like that doesn't need to be painted, but this really does, and this is going to give it a nice crisp edge, and it'll look really good when I'm done. I completely have to have coffee before I can get started painting today. I'm so tired, but it's going to be worth it. I'm so excited. So I thought I was being super smart yesterday, and we have this little cutting board area. I put paper towels under here to try to keep the paint from going onto the cutting board. And so today I went to take paper towels away, and the paper towels did not come off because they stuck to the paint. Of course. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. Of course they're going to stick to the paint. Oh, so I guess I'm going to get an X-Acto blade and see if I can get that off and make it look nice. I don't really want to have paper towels stuck there. last night we had some friends come over and they helped us paint a little bit. So we got a lot more of the cream done. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of what we've gotten finished. Time to make the switch from coffee to cheer wine. Not really sure which finish I wanted to use for the cabinets, so I'm going to actually do like a test of each one. And so I didn't mess up one of my cabinets, I found one in my mother and father-in-law's garage. And so I'm going to use the cabinet door that I found and do a test run of both the wax and the polyacrylic coating to see which one I like the best and which one might seem to hold up better inside the camper. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Let me see if I can get the camera to clear up. Yeah, there we go. You can see I've kind of scuffed it up a little bit. You know, I know this isn't going to look exactly like what my cabinets are going to look like because this cabinet had already been painted in white, so a little bit of the underlying color here is white, but I tried to scuff it up enough to where you can see the dark wood coming through, and hopefully it'll give us a little bit of a better idea of what it's going to look like once I have the two different finishes on. We'll see. I don't know. Hopefully we can get a pretty good representation. So I decided to do the polyacrylic finish on the cabinets and the drawer fronts. I feel like it's going to give a much more durable surface than the wax, and you don't have to recoat it every couple of months or every year. So I really like that idea. So I'm going to use the polyacrylic and I'm going to put 2 coats on so it'll be nice and durable. And it's a satin finish, so it should look really nice. I'm going to go ahead and kind of distress these cabinet doors a little bit and distress the cabinets a little bit before I apply the polyacrylic so that it has just a little bit of an aged look. I don't want it to look too perfect because, you know what, life isn't perfect and this is real life, folks. So I've got the 2 coats of the polyacrylic on there. It looks great. I can't wait to put this stuff all back together, but I need to do the hardware. So next step's going to be spray painting all the hardware so it'll match and look nicer in the kitchen. Alright, so I am going to spray paint these little hardware pieces for the kitchen. The doorknobs and the drawer pulls. I'm gonna spray paint these. This oil rubbed bronze. Hopefully this will work really well. I've used stuff like this in the past and it hasn't been super awesome, but I'm hoping this will actually turn out well. I'm gonna try and do thin coats, a bunch of them, and hopefully it will cover well and not drip and not look stupid. We'll see. What you doing?
I'm just putting these screws in here so we can spray paint them black to match all the kitchen and stuff. Only the head can be visible though. We don't need to spray paint the entire thing.
True.
And last one, right there.
Awesome. So now it's ready to be spray painted? Cool. I taped off next to the carpet. Who knows what that looks like underneath there. If there's paint on the carpet, I guess I'll just have to cut it off with scissors, whatever has paint stuck to it. So let's see. There's a nice little line there. What do you see? All I see is a line where the paint edge stops, and it's behind the carpet, but I don't see any paint on the carpet. Hey, looks like a win to me. Looking at it from far away, nobody's gonna notice a thing.